Fellas, we're back. What up? So, a lot of you have made the mistake of following and listening to the Red Pill Manosphere bullshit. A lot of you, and you know exactly the guys that I'm talking about, these insecure, incel guys that really don't like women and they don't like themselves, but yet they try and lead other people on the path to finding themselves and meeting women. Most of them have not succeeded at either one of those things. And a lot of you have followed these guys and or other men who have the most toxic example that they can give possible. And that's what you brought into your transition. A lot of you did it pre-transition, which is why about 70% of lesbian relationships are so violent, and that's on record. Bringing these things into your transition will only make you that much worse. It will make you go that much, that will push you that much further away from who you really are. And it's going to slow down the process of you finding the man that you want to be and meeting the woman that you want to be with. Really attracting the woman that can compliment you and not a woman that's going to use and abuse you because she can smell your bullshit a mile away. Just like what happens to these guys in this manosphere and the red pill space. The FTM Manosphere is completely different. These guys can't speak to what you need because honestly, if they met you, they wouldn't fucking understand you. Dr. Liam, I'm back. And we're about to dive into FTM men and masculinity, the manosphere. Are FTM men just as toxic as cis men? And I'm not talking about all cis men, obviously. I'm not talking about all FTM guys. Obviously, we're talking about a specific type of guy. And I'm also giving you advice so that you won't lean into this stupid shit and take it into your transition. If you're new into your transition or if you're in your transition right now and you want to get away from some of those habits that you have that are toxic, that you used to think were real cool, I'm going to help you out with that. Let's talk about it. Why do these guys feel this way? Most of them, honestly, you were cooler pre-transition and in your lesbian and stud days than most of these guys were before they found the internet and figured out how to glow up and then got a following of people who are like who they used to be. We were never in the position and haven't been in the position pre-transition most of the time where we've been hurting for a date or we couldn't get a woman. Our problem was that we tried to mimic, and I'm speaking, my guys I'm speaking to, they know exactly who I'm speaking to, and I'm speaking from experience, trying to mimic the men that had several women that didn't necessarily respect women in the process. Allowing substances to speak for you, thinking you cool, rather than speaking for yourself or just getting to know yourself long enough that you can communicate with her the right way. Push away the wrong women, bring in the right women. We weren't even concerned with that. I wasn't. I was knocking stuff down left and right. These guys, they can't say that. Women didn't flock to them because they didn't know how to talk to women. Why? They didn't know themselves. Confidence comes with knowing yourself. Liquid courage, that gives you confidence. Substances gives you confidence, but that fades away and only makes you dive deeper into the worst parts of yourself. How do you develop your confidence? Get to know yourself. That's something these guys can't do. Dive deep. Go to the ugly part of you, the part of you that you don't want anybody to know about, and that's the part you work on. There's a book, How to Do the Work by Nicole LaPerna, anything by Eckhart Tolle, anything that will help you get away from your id ego, which is the one that everybody wears on their sleeve. These people thrive on ego. That's why they have to have a platform and they have to have a following of people who are less than them. Anyone who wants someone around them that's a yes man, or, you know, I mean, you guys see them online, these guys. Someone who can't make it in the real world because you can't toe the line with a real man. And it happens in our community a lot. And you can always tell because it comes out through the emotion. Whenever someone's mad and angry, well, you can't tell me who I am. Well, who's trying to tell you who you are? That's like walking around saying, I got feet. I got feet. Yeah, we know. We do too. When you know who you are, you don't have to say shit. It's obvious. Again, build your confidence. Dive deep. If you don't like women, then you're going to listen to these guys. If you have an issue with women, look at the women that you chose. There's a reason for that. You attracted that shit. Own it. The only way you're going to get better is if you get better. These people don't have to, because fortunately enough for them, they've acquired quick money. But look at the women that they get with this quick money. Character is expensive. You can't expect it from cheap bitches. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what happens. But it matches who they are. Your lady matches who you are. When you get tired of the shit, you'll stop it. But until you work on who you are, you're going to pull in these types of people. You will walk around with this perceived delusion of who you are, grandeur, when on the outside, we really see who you are. Giving yourself false titles like king and shit like that. I have not run into one person yet that gives themselves that title, that is on a regular level with regular people, that has shown me some kingly shit. And I'm talking about people that stick to it and hold to it. In this community, you will find more kings than you will motherfuckers that got brown eyes. And right after that king comes a sob story or an attitude, emotions. That's the first sign to me that you're not taking accountability for the man that you are. Because if you can let someone who sits behind a camera and just talks and has no idea who the fuck is looking at them offend you, you have some real issues within yourself. Accept the fact that your triggers are yours. How do I know what triggers you? How does anyone know what triggers you? How does a woman know what triggers you? But she does know that when you're triggered, you got some bullshit you need to work on. This is why these guys get rejected. Women are not stupid. And this is where you should be smarter, because you weren't born like them. You have a sixth sense inside of you that lives that should help you find women with no problem. Communicate with no problem. When does that happen? When you know you. I know it's repetitive, but it's the real shit. Adopting these bullshit I'm so cool qualities, you have no idea what an idiot you look like doing that. That doesn't look good on us. You don't have to do those things. The beauty of you being you is being such a well-rounded guy. That's what a woman likes. That's what she's turned on by. A man that knows himself, that has culture, that can sit down and then talk to her. If you go on an ADHD rant, but she learns something every time you talk to her. You would be surprised at how many women love that. How many women love compliments that are way outside of the norm. These men don't know that because these men don't know themselves. Besides the fact that they've never had real interactions with women. Learn to interact with ladies and leave them alone. I've done that so many times and ended up with a date here or there before I was married. Did that with my wife, actually. There are lots of ways that you can learn about ladies without having to listen to men who do not know about ladies. There are lots of ways that you can improve yourself without listening to men who don't know themselves or are tap dancing for $1. That's not this. Make sure when you're dealing with anyone, you can tell them who you are. When they go to ask you those hard questions, well, what made you transition? You can let them know, listen, I knew who I was before I knew what to call myself. These are the things that confirm me. These are the things that are a part of me. Yeah, being trans, that's who I am, but this is the man that I am. Lay it out. If you can't do all that, then you need to work on you. That goes back to the socialization video. For those of you who swear you don't need, I make sure I stay within my circle of friends, and then you want to get out and meet other people. How do you grow like that? Without involving yourself with different people, different ideals, different opinions, understanding different ways of thinking, and then cross-referencing those things, and then thinking for yourself, doing your own research, and communicating properly. How do you grow without doing that? If you stay within your own sweet little circle, you are exactly like these people that you listen to, because that's your circle of yes men. That's always going to be somebody that's going to validate whatever it is that you feel in here that you haven't tested elsewhere. A real man, what does he do? A real man figures out who he is and then stands in it. Knows when to show compassion and love, strength when it's needed. Ego is not the issue. And I could care less what you do. A real man doesn't need to stand up and say, well, you can't tell me who I am. Of course you can. What? But a real man will also not try and tell anyone else who they are. Guiding you through painful processes and trying to indoctrinate you into being someone else. That's two different things. I don't want you to be me. Please don't try. That will annoy the shit out of me. I'm a Leo. We don't like that. But I want you to learn from the things that I did. Learn from some of the stuff that I'm telling you so that you don't have to have a harder time. You can find you easily with peace. And you can be confident in that. And your confidence will dismantle each one of these people that you run into. It does not matter if a person has more than you. If you have confidence, they don't have shit. And that's that. If they are not real, if they're insecure, if you have confidence, it will show that they will fall apart in front of you. Or they'll stay away. Both are great. Fellas, stop taking toxic traits into your transition. Figure out who you are. Do your thing. Don't listen to these guys. Grow, read, learn yourself, challenge yourself. Sometimes it's going to be lonely. Fuck it. That's life. The older you get, you will relish in that peace. Sit with the quiet sometimes. Sometimes meditation is just sitting with the quiet. But do not listen to the stupid shit in the manosphere, the red pill shit. We have a manosphere. This is it. Part of developing your own manosphere is learning you and then adding little things that create your little world. That's something that everybody can't do, and that is a fucking gift. I'll be back for another one soon. Take care of your heart, take care of your head, take care of your surroundings. Do not feed yourself the bullshit. Check out that book, How to Do the Work. No, it's not a promo. It's just a really good fucking book. And it helped me a lot. Nicole LaPerna, she also has a YouTube and all that stuff. She's a psychiatrist. She's great. All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Like, share, subscribe. Doc is out.